Welcome, my name is Jessica Rayella. I'm a recreation specialist with the City of Dime Bar, and today we are going to do a really easy and super useful craft around the house. We're going to make DIY coasters. Let's get started. So, for our DIY coasters, we're going to need a few things before we get started. So, you guys are going to need to go and pick up some tiles roughly around this size. It doesn't matter what shape. The great thing about this craft is it's personal preference. I picked up these tiles from Lowe's. They're 15 cents each, super cheap. Obviously, you can find these in the flooring and the tile section. I have these already pre-cut cork circles, and these are gonna go under so we're not slamming the tiles on our tables when we use them. You're gonna need some Mod Podge. These come in different varieties. I got the gloss Mod Podge. You're gonna wanna get some decorative paper, or you can print out some of your favorite family photos or your favorite photos in general, and we can use those as well. And then lastly, you'll need scissors, a pencil, and a little sponge brush. So once you guys have all these materials, let's get started. So I have my tile here. I'm gonna wipe it off, make sure there's no dust on it. And then I just grabbed a piece of paper with a fun pattern on it to use to lay over top my tile. That way it's a little more decorative and not plain. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip that piece of paper that I picked out, and then I'm just gonna take the tile. I like to stick to the corners, especially if it's a brand new piece of paper. And this is gonna be the tile is gonna be my template. So I'm just gonna take the pencil and just mark a line. There we go, that should be the size of our tile. And then I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm gonna cut that out. And the reason why I chose to do my outline on the back side of this page is because if I am just a little off with my cutting, there's not gonna be any pencil marks left, and I don't have to bother with trying to get rid of that pencil line. So let's get this out. And we're gonna put the rest of the sheet of paper to the side. I'm just gonna put this over top, measure, make sure we got it measured out correctly, or if I need to do any trimming. All right, so once you have your paper and it is the size you need it to be, we're gonna take the Mod Podge and we're gonna take our sponge brush, and we're just gonna apply a thin coat right over the top of the tile so we can stick down and secure that piece of paper. Make sure you guys line it up correctly. Mod Podge does dry very fast, so you want to make sure you work fast when you put the paper on and make your adjustments before that Mod Podge dries up, because it's going to be very hard to move the paper after that. All right, so I have my paper secured right on my tile. Now I'm gonna go over it with that Mod Podge to make it pretty much waterproof. You're gonna be putting drinks on this that might be dripping cold. So we wanna make sure that this lasts for a long time and it doesn't get ruined by our wet cups or our wet bottles or cans. So again, a thin layer, even layer over the top. Once this dries, it looks a little white right now, and that's okay. Once it dries, it's gonna dry clear and glossy. So I'm gonna get the edges as well. Seal the edges off. One more edge, and then one more pass through. All right, and that's pretty much it for how you apply your photos, your piece of paper, pretty much anything you want to put on this tile. You're just gonna go over it with Mod Podge. So I'm just gonna let this dry really quickly before we move on to adding the cork on the underside. All right, so I have my coaster. It's all dry. I probably let it dry for about a minute, minute and a half. It's pretty much dry, but I'm gonna attach the cork board on the bottom. That way when you're putting it down on a coffee table or a counter, you're not slamming just the tile. There's a little cushion there to keep it from breaking. So we're just gonna use the same Mod Podge, but we're gonna apply a little more than what we did for the paper and the tile. We're gonna apply a thick coat of Mod Podge. Then we're just gonna stick it on the bottom. Press down. Put it down, press down on the table, right over top. And then there you go. You have your DIY coaster all ready to go. You can leave it for a couple hours to completely dry. That way we know that that cork board is secure at the bottom and that the seal of the Mod Podge over top the paper is completely dry. All right guys, there you have it, our DIY coasters. They're ready to go. You can put these around the house on your coffee table and your counters. I hope you guys enjoy using this. Until next time.